Chapter 14, Part 2. Chapter 14, Part 2, page 503. Fats. Fat has several essential functions, one of which includes serving as an energy source through a wide range of exercise intensities. After 15 to 20 minutes of endurance exercise, the oxidation of fats is stimulated. As exercise intensity increases, the contribution of fat begins to decrease due to the carbohydrate increasing role. In addition to energy, fat plays important roles in function and elasticity of cell membrane, structure and function of the nervous system, production of hormones, maintenance of body temperature. Fats do absorption of soluble vitamins and carotenoids, protection of vital organs. Pro tip: it is recommended that athletes consume 20 to 40 grams of protein 4 to 6 times per day. Form a complete source of protein, high in leucine, dairy, egg, and protein meat are best. If the protein source is a vegetable-based, then the source or mixed sources should be checked for completeness, and the athlete may need to slightly increase the amount to ensure that enough leucine is provided. Fatty acids are simply single-chain lipids. They serve as regulators of fat production, inflammation, insulin action, and neurological function. Fatty acids are classified based on the chain length and presence of double bonds, no bond, saturated, one double bond, monounsaturated, one double bond, so monounsaturated, and more than one double bond, polyunsaturated. Saturated fat, which can be synthesized in the body, is found primarily in land animal fats, such as whole milk, cream, whole milk cheese, lard, and butter fat, or so-called tropical oils like palm or coconut oils. Olive oil, canola oil, almonds, and avocados all contain monounsaturated fatty acids, whereas vegetable and fish oils predominantly contain polyunsaturated fatty acids. PUFAS, poly, play a major role in eicosanoid synthesis that has hormonal function. Eicosanoid synthesis that has hormonal function, which regulate many functions such as smooth muscle contraction and inflammatory functions. Therefore, the types of fats consumed in the diet can become active participants in health and performance. Definition: eicosanoid, signaling molecules made by oxygenation of 20 carbon essential fatty acids. They exert complex control over many bodily systems, mainly in inflammation or immunity, and as messengers in the central nervous system. Eicosanoids, signalers. The two types of fatty acids are considered essential for the human body, which means the body needs them to survive. These two are linoleic and alpha-linoleic acid. These two fatty acids are needed for a wide range of functions and are able to be synthesized into the other necessary fatty acids for the body. Polyunsaturated fats are generally found in plant sources, such as sunflower seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts. Other omega-3 fatty acids, such as eicosapentaenoic acid and docosahexaenoic acid, docosahexaenoic acid, are considered conditionally essential, which means for optimal function, consumption of these fatty acids may be necessary. These fish and algae-derived fatty acids are especially beneficial for athletes. These fish and algae-derived fatty acids are especially beneficial for athletes. In recent studies, fish oil consumption was found to reduce muscle soreness and improve recovery of lower body strength after exercise-induced muscle soreness. The RDA for the total fat has not been established. However, an acceptable macronutrient distribution range for adults has been established as 20 to 35% of daily energy intake as total fat. National surveys have reported total fat consumption for both men and women average 32 to 8% of total calorie intake. Athlete intake patterns vary depending on the sport, training, and performance. For example, rowers have been reported consuming diets containing 30 to 40% fat, whereas gymnasts report intake ranges from 15 to 31% fat. Very low fat diets, below 15% of total calories is fat, compared to moderate fat diets, 20 to 25%, have shown no performance benefit. And athletes should not restrict dietary fat intake to such low levels. The dietary guidelines for Americans have recommended that 25 to 30% of energy intake come from fat, with 10% coming from saturated fatty acids, 10% from polyunsaturated fat, and 10% from monounsaturated fat. Athletes should follow these general guidelines and recommendations to prevent fat intake from becoming too low. Very low fat diets can disrupt menstrual function in female athletes and contribute to low serum testosterone levels in male athletes. Athletes on a very low fat diet should therefore be working with an RD. Interestingly, gender-based research has shown that dietary recommendations may differ for an exercising woman. Several reports describe subtle differences in source of energy used. For example, women may use more fat and fewer carbohydrates than men. It has been shown that women have higher muscular triglyceride stores and may have greater breakdown during submaximal exercise. Thus, the female endurance athlete in energy balance needs at least 30% of calories from fat to replace muscle triglycerides used during training. If fat intake is too low, depletion would continue, which may ultimately limit performance capacity in succeeding workouts. Meats, poultry, and fish are major sources of total fat in the traditional food supply, contributing 30% in total.